Welcome to the video, guys. So after the Chargers started with a 4-1 record after 5 games, they've now lost 3 of the last 4 games. In this video we're going to be looking at, is this just a temporary glitch in the season for the Chargers and they still playoff bound this year, or is this a bigger downfall for the rest of the season to come, and are we going to yet again miss out on the playoffs? So obviously with some of the losses we had back earlier in the season, the Cowboys games, there could be excuses made that we're a little bit unlucky with calls from referees and whatnot. Obviously games such as the Ravens, there's no excuses for that, but it did feel against the Vikings, although we still had a chance late on in the game, that 3rd and very long, they got obviously close on that 4th down and then converted the 4th down to ice the game. Essentially we were basically second best in most areas of the game. So yards in the air we were second best, yards on the ground we were second best, first downs we were second best, and 3rd down efficiency, and obviously as well the Vikings playing us at our own game with the 4th down conversions. And we also had 13 minutes less possession in the game, which obviously, as you know, if you dominate the clock you're going to have a very good chance to win the game. Turnovers were even and sacks were even as well, but the Vikings pretty much did come into SoFi Stadium and dominate us, getting themselves a road win and putting themselves back in a chance for the playoffs now. So a big 3 games in the AFC coming up for us, starting with a primetime game against the Steelers. We then go to the Broncos and then we have the Bengals. So 3 teams that are essentially going to be potential playoff competition for us later on in the season. And obviously the Steelers is a big game to start off with this weekend. Big Ben may potentially still be out injured, so we might be going up against Mason Rudolph, and obviously we know the rookie running back Najee Harris, what he's been doing on that team offensively has been brilliant at the moment, and obviously our run defence isn't brilliant, so it'll be interesting to see how we handle him in this matchup. At the moment there is a question mark with TJ Watt, whether he goes or not. Again, from our offensive line point of view, could be a very different game if he isn't going out there this weekend. We then obviously have the divisional matchup against the Broncos, first time we see them this season. Obviously we're 2-0 in the division at the moment, and that is the one positive with our 5-4 record. Even though we're second in the West at the moment, we do hold that tiebreaker over everybody at the moment in the division, having the 2 from 2 wins. So against the Broncos, it'd be interesting to see. Obviously Williams and Gordon on the ground seem to be splitting the carries. What I have noticed is between them, there has been pretty much fumbles every week in the last few weeks I see, so it'll be good to see if our defence can get stuck in there and try and turn the ball over. I'm expecting Jerry Jeudy at some point in the next few weeks to break out. Obviously still a little bit slow from his injury return, but I think he could be on to bigger things later on in the year. And then after the Broncos we have the matchup against the Bengals, and again they could be very big competition for us if we end up not winning the division and going into the wildcard route. It could be big to have that win over the Bengals for the matchup, and I kind of think that game might go the way of the Browns game. Could be a bit of an offensive battle. I kind of worry that Jamar Chase could have a big game against us. So with all that being said, I think we definitely need to get out of these 3 games with a winning record. 2-1 would be good. If we could get 3-0, I think we're in a brilliant position to at least make the playoffs through the wild card position, if not winning the division, because obviously if we beat the Broncos we'll be 3-0 in the division, so even depending on what the Chiefs come, and obviously we've got the next matchup against the Chiefs a few weeks down the line, that could be a huge game, just like back in 2018, to decide the top of the division. Now let's go on to talk about Justin Herbert. He's shown flashes of the brilliance that he showed in his rookie season last year. His passer rating's been over 120 against the Eagles, the Chiefs and the Browns, and they were all monster offensive games for us, and they were games that Mike Williams got heavily involved in. He's been a lot quieter in these defeats that we've had recently. Now all the losses we've had this season, Justin Herbert's passer rating has been under 100, and he's actually thrown an interception in every single loss we've had this season. Now 5 wins, he's only actually thrown 1 interception. So it shows that Justin Herbert's performance each week has a massive impact on the likelihood of us winning or losing the game. Our running game has faltered a bit over recent weeks, and I'd like to see a number 2 back come in. Obviously Roundtree had his first touchdown at the weekend, but we need someone to start taking some of the carries away from Eckler, get Eckler out of the backfield in the passing game where we've seen him do amazing things in the past, and get somebody, either Roundtree, Jackson, obviously again having those injury issues this year, so it could well be Roundtree that steps into that number 2 back, and I'd like to see whoever that number 2 back is for the second half of the season getting more touches of the ball so we can free up Eckler a little bit. So after 9 games we're 5-4 game behind the Chiefs in the division, and obviously a massive game against them a little bit down the line coming up. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Do you still think we can make the playoffs? Do you think we'll make the playoffs as the winner of the AFC West, or do you think we're going to have to go through that very challenging route of the wild cards? Looking like a lot of teams are going to be ending up with similar records come the end of the 17 regular season games. And also let me know in the comments below, obviously, if we make the playoffs, who do you think's our biggest challenge to getting to the Super Bowl? Is it the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, who obviously already had that big game against us, or maybe even the Tennessee Titans, who've been doing brilliant things even without Derrick Henry? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next video.